audible and visible to all of you. If even you're able to hear me less or this or that, do tell me in the comment section. Sorry, yaar, whenever it's 8 a.m., nature start calling me. Maybe because I don't know, every day it happens. So from 5 a.m. till 7:55 a.m., I am like staying put on my chair, reading, rereading, then selecting what to. Oh my god. And so maybe because of this whole thing, because I don't stand up and all this, the pressure comes and nature calls. So again, Chepandis guys, hope you can hear me. Good morning, Maths with Kiri. Good morning, user DG1SB. Good morning, Shupurna, Annie, GYN, Harshini, and everyone. So today is 24th October 2025, and we will do Hindu analysis of this day only. Oh my god, really good. We'll do that. Before we do that, let me show you something. What have you people done? And I so don't like you people. See what has happened here? We will not talk about this issue. We have already talked about ASEAN a lot. I just want to show you this particular news. See, Modi means not Modi ji. He is elder to you. So he will not go to ASEAN. He had earlier planned to go to Malaysia, but because you people talk so much about, Modi ji is going here and there. See, everybody has this dream, guys, to visit all 190 plus countries in the world. Modi Shah is no exception to that. Why you people do this? In our Hindi, we call it nazar lag gaya. That means because of you people, Modi sir is not going. And then there are some people who are saying that he's not going because he don't want to face Trump. Trump is saying that Modi sir has said he will not be taking, India will not be taking oil from Russia. We are saying that we have never said that. So to avoid all this embarrassment, whatever it is, we are not going. But again, this is not the news. We have talked about ASEAN enough, so I'm not talking about this particular issue anymore. We'll talk about national education policy when we are talking about PM Shri today. So we'll do all these things. So yes, good morning, Iltush. Uh, yeah. Okay. So let's start. My name is Shubham Sagar. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, and please don't say anything bad about Modi sir. I don't like it. And my Telegram channel is Fun Study with Shubh. You can join this channel. I will be uploading this PDF by 9:30 a.m. Oh my god! Yesterday, I gave you people this question, MCQ 12. India's strategy to promote solar energy exports under ISA mainly target whom we are targeting. US, uh, non-reliable now. Match means market has saturated to a certain extent. So which particular region we are targeting now? Chepandis, guys. Chepandis fast. Europe, North America, East Asia, or Africa? So Kiri, Annie, Harshini, Shripurna, all of you have stated the answer is Africa. Very good. You people are so good, just like about. So let's come back and talk about the real issues, not about who is, skipping what and this and that. So Kiri, Annie, Harshini, Shripurna, Iltush, Jiva, and all of you have given the answer. First article of the day on which we'll solve a mains question as well as so many pre-question. Cloud seeding. What is cloud seeding? So this is a recurring thing, right? People, you already know, Delhi winter comes, air pollution, air pollution, oh my god, AQI more than 1,000, this and that. So now our Delhi government, they have brought this proposal, cloud seeding. Now what will happen in cloud? Here in cloud seeding, please understand, sir, for doing cloud seeding you need clouds. It's not like cloud seeding via this you will create artificial clouds. That does not happen. So you have these clouds. See how awesome diagram I'm making. So you will saturate these clouds with something known as, let's say, silver iodide, silver bromide, etc., etc. I will show you other elements also. And what these silver iodide, silver bromide will do, they will try to freeze the particles which are there, the water vapor which are there. So these water vapor, they will freezing to ice or snow, they will become heavier, and then they will fall on ground, thereby means causing rainfall. And when rainfall will happen, all these pollutants, they will reach ground, and the pollution will be gone. That is the basic rationale which is given here about cloud seeding. But the author is saying this is not the solution, guys. You and this is very temporary thing, this cloud seeding. You saturated clouds with silver iodide, bromide, blah blah blah, and the air pollutants are going to the ground or going at the lower level, and the air becomes clearer. But for how many days? 1 or 2 days. What about a scenario where silver iodide or bromide, which you have, injected in these clouds, they come to the ground, they accumulate in the soil? What will be the impact on ground, guys? And then, you are, let's say, creating, first of all, you need cloud for this whole thing to happen. Are we witnessing any cloud in Delhi? I'm currently in Gurgaon. These cloud seeding does not create artificial clouds. Sometimes we do get rainfall in winter season in Delhi region from western disturbances. But can we rely on them completely? So the thing is, this whole thing is snake oil solution. So in our time, you people were not born at that time. In our time, what is snake oil? When you will go to village areas, they'll be like, okay, take this oil made from snake, will cure all solution. No, that is not going to happen with cloud seeding. It is promoted as a bold way to reduce air pollution. It's just a misapplication of science and raises ethical question. What are the ethical concerns which it is raising? So first of all, sorry, sir. Sorry, guys. To understanding ethical concern, first of all, let's try to understand cloud seeding. What we have discussed, it is a weather modification technique which will enhance precipitation, rain or snow, by introducing substances in existing cloud. They are not creating clouds by themselves. So cloud has to be there for cloud seeding to work. That is one thing which you have to keep in mind. Then what else? Precondition, natural cloud must already exist, which does not exist that much in winter in Delhi. Process, aircrafts, you can see they will release silver iodide. UPSC has already asked questions on cloud seeding, guys, so it is important both from pre and mains perspective. So chloride, iodide, blah blah blah. You can see all these things. What they will do, they will act as nucleus. Water vapor will freeze around them, and then they will become heavy when they are becoming, and then they will fall as rain or snow. So that is the basic rationale. This is cloud seeding. And now we are talking about the issues. Why this is not the solution? Why this is a snake oil? Like snake oil will cure everything. It doesn't. So North India's air is polluted year round, but we know why we are witnessing this thing in winter because of phenomena which is known as temperature inversion, which we have talked thousand number of times. In summer also you have pollution, but because the air is warmer, it disperses to different region and you don't see the concentration in a particular area. But in winter, because the air is cooler and cooler air is not lighter, so it will not rise and it will remain in this particular region, thereby leading to heavy pollution. So that is what they are talking about: cooler temperature, high pressure system, role of western disturbances. So now the solution is iodide, blah blah blah, but you need cloud. From where are we getting cloud? Western disturbances, which is a low pressure region created around Mediterranean. So the what means air is coming from sea to land, Mediterranean region, so it has some moisture, some rain happen, but it is not a reliable or frequent source of rainfall. Neither it is having, or we are having, clouds, proper clouds over Delhi. So effectiveness of cloud seeding, why it is not effective, why it is a snake oil solution. It cannot create clouds. It only works when clouds are there, which is not there most of the time in Delhi. And even, if you have clouds, whether it will, rain or not, how much it will rain or not, we don't know how much it will be working. And then even if it works, even if rainfall happens, it's short lived. The pollution will be gone for 1 or 2 days. That's what we have discussed. This is just a gimmick, guys, just a gimmick. So risk and ethical issues, that's what we have discussed. These silver iodide, chloride, etc., they will be coming to ground, they will be accumulating in the soil. What impact it will have on ecosystem, crop and health, this you have to understand. Long term impact we don't know when these particles are coming and accumulating in ground. Accountability, let's say you created these things, you seeded cloud, rainfall happened and flood happened. We already know even if 2 centimeter rainfall happens, Gurgaon is flooded, Gurugram. So if flooding happens, who will take responsibility for this? Flooding or damage happens. So there are so many things you have to think about when you talk from ethical perspective and other conundrums as well. Hope you're understanding where we are going with this. Cool, sir. So what should be done now? Focus on the root causes, guys. Reducing vehicular emission, reducing industrial pollution, all these things. Power plants, we already know the issues. Crop residue burning, stubble burning. Focus on these. Just because these issues are very big issues and, it's difficult to take care of them, you are introducing a gimmick. A real solution: cleaner transport system, renewable energy adoption, you can see here, better waste management, urban planning. Focus on that rather than on the gimmick that is cloud seeding. So hope you understood what this article is talking about. And some scientists and institutions are endorsing cloud seeding, la, 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 la. It diverts, plus money is also going, guys. It's our money, man. Well, okay, it undermines trust. Blah, blah, blah. Cloud seeding is a false short-term fix, snake oil solution. Snake oil will not cure all your diseases. Cloud seeding is not going to cure the least pollution. So real need is courageous, systemic action. Focus on the things which we have discussed: renewable energy adoption, reduction in stubble burning, and all those stuff. Just because I'm not going there. So cloud seeding, we have talked about this. Let's solve a mains question based on whatever we have read. Oh my god. Cloud seeding is being promoted as a solution to Delhi's air pollution. Critically examine its scientific validity, environmental risk, and ethical implications. So, when you're seeing the different parts of this question, one part is scientific validity, second part is environmental risk, third part is ethical implications. So in starting you can talk about what is cloud seeding, and then if possible also make beautiful diagrams like me, and so but again I'm just joking, but yeah, you can make, it's not like you cannot make. And then talk about the scientific validity, how it will work. Scientific validities need clouds, guys. More often than not, we don't have clouds in winter. And then what else it will be doing? It will be injecting silver iodide, chloride, etc. Environmental risk, what we have discussed, accumulate in the ground. We don't know what will be the impact on the crops, etc. Ethical implications, if it does impact the health of people, who will take responsibility? If flood happens, who will take responsibility? So all these things you will talk about in the ethical implications. Whose money is being wasted here? Time and again they come up with an utopian idea. Whose money is being wasted here, guys? Anything and everything. So you will talk about all these things when you're talking about this particular question. What is cloud seeding, weather modification technique, etc., etc. And then in body you will talk about scientific validity. It requires clouds, effectiveness or increasing rainfall. We don't know how much rainfall it will increase. Pollution reduction, even if it happens for 1 or 2 days. Environmental risk, they can accumulate in soil, they can impact ecosystem, human health. And in ethical and governances, we don't know whether they will cause rain flood or not. Like if rainfall happens, if flood happens, who will take responsibility? You are diverting fund and attention. Our precious money is going for something which will not bring long-term change. So that is what they are talking about. Alternative solution, focus on the problems which are there in present of you and try to and address those problems. That is your solution. It's just a snake oil solution. Hope you understood this article. Hope you understood the basic gist behind this article. Now let's solve some question MCQ 1. So cloud seeding can create clouds in a completely dry atmosphere. Use option elimination. These kind of questions, based because of the options, they are tricky. So it's a tricky question, but a conceptual question. Tricky but conceptual. Chemicals such as silver iodide are used to induce condensation or freezing in clouds. Cloud seeding guarantees a long-term reduction in air pollution. So Harshini, Annie, Iltush, Shripurna, Jiva, and Kiri, all of you have given the answer. We know it cannot create clouds. It needs clouds for seeding to happen. So one is wrong. If one is wrong, done and dusted, guys. C is the answer. As stated by Harshini, Annie, Iltush, Shripurna, Jivayan, and Kiri. Very good. You people are so good. Just like a wow. MCQ2. What are the potential environmental risk of repeated cloud seeding? Kiri, you teach maths. To whom? Whom do you teach maths, Kiri? Accumulation of silver iodide in soil and water, permanent elimination of natural clouds, unknown long-term effects on agriculture, ecosystem, and human wealth. Chipandis, guys, Chipandis fast. So Harshini has given the answer, Shripurna has given the answer, Iltush has given the answer. So accumulation of silver iodide in soil and water, that will happen. So first is correct. If first is correct, eliminate C. Permanent elimination. So cloud seeding will eliminate all natural clouds. Extreme statement, remove second. You're left with now A and D. Unknown long-term effects. Exactly. That's what we were talking about in the mains question. So the answer is D, 1 and 3 as stated by Harshini, Shripurna, Iltush, Annie, Kiri, and Jivayan. Maths with Kiri. MCQ 3. Which of the following factors contribute to extreme air pollution in Delhi during post-monsoon and winter months? Again, use option elimination. Again, these are very good questions, guys. Apne muh mein mittu. That means I'm doing my own, praise, but I'm seriously mean it. These questions are actually very good, very conceptual. Use option elimination. I teach TNPC maths classes. You're such a good girl. Who is a good girl? Kiri is a good girl. So Harshini, Purna, any, Iltush, all of you have given the answer. We know, like, extreme air pollution will not happen if there is rainfall. Rainfall happens. If rainfall happens, continuously, then what will happen? In that scenario, the particles, the pollutants will go down the ground, man. So it will not be there in suspended in air. So frequent rainfall is good for reducing pollution, and that's what they are trying to do via cloud seeding. So that is not there, and that's why we have air pollution in Delhi during winter. So second is wrong. If you eliminate second, you will get the answer. That is B, 1 and 3 only, as stated by Harshini, Shripurna, Any, Ilto, Jivayan, and Kiri. Very good, yaar. Next article written by Shashi Tharoor. I like this guy, Shashi Tharoor. Many people are like Shashi Tharoor, sir, is this and that. What I'm trying to tell you here is he's awesome. So he, like, his English is awesome, and here again he has written some very high quality English, but we'll focus on the content. So UN, United Nation, 80 years, 1945 it was established. Many people are saying that this is ineffectual. We have talked about China SCO Summit 2025, how China has even proposed an alternative GGI, Global Governance Initiative, right? But Shashi Tharoor sir is saying that no, man, he has worked in UN. He has worked as a former United Nation Under Secretary General. So means he knows things from inside. He has said that UN is doing stuff, guys. Nothing is utopian. Nothing is perfect. You marry someone, you have a boyfriend or girlfriend. Nobody is perfect. UN is not perfect, but they have contributed a lot to peacekeeping forces, peacekeeping missions rather. So they have done a lot. Some missions have been a failure in, let's say, Africa, Rwanda, genocide, etc., but they have played some other roles in Namibia, ensuring peace in Namibia and other regions. So they have done a lot. They are ensuring at least talks happen. It's an organization, one of the most, biggest organization, if not the biggest multilateral organization in the world. And people meet, they talk, sometimes that resolve issue. They are the ones who talk about SDGs. See, why this article is very interesting, because generally you have this particular perspective about UN, that UN, all of us, that it's not working, etc., etc. So everybody knows that. In mains you can easily answer that yes, it is not working, not doing anything when it comes to Russia, Ukraine, or Israel, Palestine, etc. But then the good points are sometimes hard to remember, keep in mind. So these are some good points. They are the ones who are talking about SDGs, etc., etc. But yes, Shashi Tharoor sir, apart from saying good things about UN, he is also saying what they have to do. Like UNSC permanent members, they are not reflecting the current world order. It has to change. India has to become a member. So again, a good, like, this is an editorial which will give you some new perspective, that yes, these are also points which we have to keep in mind whenever we are writing any answer on related to mains. So he's talking about UN, 80 years have been done. Many people are crying, this is bad, that, this and that. Then he's talking about, see, man, I have worked there for 30 years. I know, like, he started when Cold War was going on between USA and USSR, right? This whole Cold War era. So he was working, and then 1991 dissolution of Soviet Union. So he had seen all these things, post Cold War cooperation. UN had a role to play in that. So there are flaws, there are bureaucratic hurdles in UN, there are, fund crunch. They're not getting enough fund these days. So they're the guys, they're not getting salary. So salary problem is not only confined to private setup, even UN is facing that. They're saying, but again, jokes apart, Shashi Tharoor is saying that UN remains indispensable. Radically changed global order. So there was a bipolar order, US, USSR, then US, now multipolarity. US, China, everybody's India. We are a major power, man. Major power. So new powers have emerged, alliances have weakened, and that's what he's saying. Transnational challenges have grown. But UN is still relevant. It will remain relevant if it is adapting to the changing scenarios. That's what Shashi Tharoor sir is saying. But he's also saying that adaptation means what? Today we'll also talk about an article which will talk about the difference between adaptation and mitigation, how they are different from each other, what are adaptation initiatives, what are mitigation initiatives. Oh my god, climate change comes each day, every day. So again, UN Security Council, the members, the permanent members, they're still reflecting the power of 1945. We need countries like India, Germany, etc. in UNSC. So it has to be done. India's case is particularly strong. You can see here, world's largest democracy, blah, blah, blah. Continuing relevance of UN. You have these organizations, World Food Program. Tell me, guys, comment in the comment section. Obviously, where will you comment? So, World Food Program, did it get Nobel Peace Prize or something recently? If yes, which particular year, guys? World Food Program. UNICEF, United Nations Children's Emergency Fund. United Nations, this is Commission for Refugees. So these organizations, they're especially doing good work. It's not like the other organizations are moot and redundant, but refugee organization of UN, World Food Program, UNICEF, they are doing good work, guys. So it's not like everything is lost. Peacekeeping forces, so it provides a platform for dialogue and negotiation. Sometimes you are not talking with your girlfriend is not talking with you or her other boyfriends. Talk is very important. That resolves issue, and UN is that particular forum. So normative influence, shipping level back. You can read all these things. SDGs, which was started in like from 2015, has to be attained by 2030. 17 goals, 169 targets. Who was thought about this whole thing? UN thought about it. It replaced MDGs. So again, these are the achievements of UN, which is very difficult to remember, and that's why this particular article is very important. Nobody knows. What did I ask you people? Yes. World Food Program. Did it get Nobel Peace Prize or not? Chepandis Chepu Telsu Ledu Kadu, guys. Kadu fast. And then structural and political constraints. So there are issues, veto pass. These Russia, Ukraine, etc. Russia is vetoing their doing veto on Russia Ukraine war. This is so stupid. With due respect to Russia here. So veto means forbid. When somebody is vetoing, let's say there are four other members of UNSC, they are saying that we condemn action of Russia, etc., and Russia itself vetoes this, then it will not go through. So this is wrong. Veto power, block accountability, funding shortfalls. US is not giving fund to, and it's very ironic because in 1945, when UN was formed, US was one of the like organization countries rather, country is the right word, right, that was very supportive of the formation of UN, and now they are not giving fund, they are not giving money. So it's all gone south. But again, UN is still relevant. We have to keep it relevant. India's strategic autonomy and global governance. We are not with anyone. We follow non-alignment and multi-alignment, blah blah blah. So we are very relevant. And India, another, you can read all these things. India advocates of reform, principle, inclusive UNSC, India's vision, blah blah blah. I'm not talking about all these things. We are talking about the key points here, that UN is relevant. Why it is relevant? Talk about World Food Program, talk about refugee organization of UN, talk about UNICEF, talk about peacekeeping forces, talk about SDGs. These are the points which most of the people will not write. Talk about that. 2020, sir. Where Jivan is such a good girl. Purna is also good. 2020 WFP Nobel Peace Prize for COVID. Yes, sir. 2020, very good, Vikas. So, way forward, key reforms. UNSC, India has to become a permanent member. Institutional agility, streamlined decision making, guys, embrace digit again, they're saying that. And this is very important, the third point, moral voice. If something is wrong, say it is wrong. Israel Palestine issue is happening. Israel is our India's one of best friends, but whatever is happening in Israel is wrong. Hamas did something stupid, but it doesn't mean the whole Palestine has to suffer. So if something is wrong, talk about it, speak truth to power. That is one thing. Member state commitment, renew political, and give them fund, man. Give fund to UN, yeah. How will they work? Donate, guys. To UN and to me. So funding crisis, budget cuts and staff reduction has happened there. Ironically, those who created UN, US included, are now undermining it. Whenever US feels like UN is going against Israel, they will do something or the other. So again, nobody is perfect. Nobody is awesome like Ritik Roshan. Nobody is Greek god. So neither is UN. But yes, it's still needed. To dismiss UN is to abandon the belief in collective global governance. You can read all these things. I'm not reading. Quoting Dag Ham. See, again, Sashi Tharoor started here. Hammer's Claude. So this guy, he was a former diplomat and he worked in UN. Awesome guy. So he said that UN's purpose is not to take mankind to heaven. Nobody can take you to heaven, but it will save humanity from hell. It is doing whatever it can, guys. So yes, respect it. So, but again, UN has to become more representative, include India in UNSC, permanent membership, responsive and resilient. So again, you hope you understood what Shashi Tharoor sir is trying to say in this article, where he is going with this. UN is not completely moot. It has some relevance up until now, but it has to adapt. Otherwise, it will become relevant sooner rather than, or irrelevant rather, sooner rather than later. Let's focus on some questions now. I had never understood this 25xp and all these things. In the context of Delhi cloud seeding, the term snake oil solution refers to what? Cheap but highly effective method to reduce pollution, scientifically unproven, flashy intervention that distracts from structural solution. A traditional method of using medicinal plants to purify air, the use of natural clouds to predict rainfall accurately. So Harshini, Iltu, Shripurna, any, all of you have given the answer. Jivayan, Vikas, Jivayan C is not the answer, beta. You talked about plants in this cloud seeding thing. Scientifically unproven. Cloud seeding is not going to do anything related to, it's all flashy thing. Modi hai MCQ 4 is done. MCQ 5. So there are different UN agencies you are seeing here: UNHCR, WFP, UNICEF, and what is their mandate, where they are working primarily. Select the correct code, guys. So Harshini, Iltush, Purna, any, Jiva, and Vikas, Kirija, all of you have answered that fourth question. Modi hai to mumkin hai. I like this song, guys. Modi hai to mumkin hai. Everybody these days, people are making some sarcastic videos that there's a train, people are going for Group D jobs, lakhs people, PhD candidates, etc. And on the train it is written Modi hai to mumkin hai. Everybody is entering into train. This has become a joke. But Modi sir is best. But yes, that song has become a joke somewhat. It's not like BJP hai to mumkin hai, India hai to mumkin hai. It's about one guy is there, so it's possible. Sounds somewhat like dictatorship. Not good for democracy. Let's focus, guys. UNHCR, WFP, UNICEF, guys. Modi hai to mumkin. Shri Purna, Kirija, Iltu, Jivayan, Harshini, Annie, Vikas, all of you have given the answer. A to B3, C1. Very good. Who is there? India has called for reforms in UNSC primarily because it wants to dominate global decision making. Current membership does not reflect contemporary geopolitical realities. It seeks to bypass UN and global governance. It is not contributed to UN peacekeeping. This is so simple. This is like the simplest question of all. Its current membership does not reflect contemporary geopolitical reality, guys. It wants to dominate. We never dominate. It's not, 50 Shades is not going on here. Oh my, this is not about domination, etc. We are just saying UNSC permanent members, they are reflecting the world order of 1945. It is not reflecting contemporary period. So B is the answer. Hope you are understanding, people, why B is the answer. Very good. Dominate. So like, share and subscribe, guys. Spread the word. Cheppandi Chepputelsu Ledu Kadu. Next article. Kerala government signs up for PM Shri funds. PM Shri Fund. What is this fund? See, basically, this is a central government initiative launched in 2022 where they're doing modernization of schools. So see, government school, private schools, they're doing modernization here. So modernization means what? In government schools, sometimes you may have seen some of your uncles may have been government teachers, so they are going for 1 hour and then they're coming. No, increasing, modernizing schools, increasing the quality of lectures, all these things will be going on under PM Shri. One another mandate of PM Shri is to implement NEP 2020, National Education Policy 2020, which many southern states don't like, including Kerala, Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu has been the most vociferous opposer of NEP 2020 because they feel like it is an imposition of Hindi. So before we talk about NEP 2020, means PM Shri, etc., let's first of all focus on the basic provision of NEP 2020, which has already been asked by UPSC in both pre as well as means. Yeah, let me see my eyes. So this sir here, with so much hair on his head, that's stupid joke. I don't know how much you can see. Let me see whether you can see K. Kasturi Rangan sir or not. So oh, you cannot see it. He is hidden behind me. So there is a guy who is hidden behind me. His name is K. Kasturi Rangan. On his recommendation, he has, okay, so this particular National Education Policy, NEP 2020, was launched. It is replacing NEP 1986. Do remember these facts, guys. They are very important facts. National Education Policy 2020. So they're talking about 3 language formula, but they're saying that the third language can be anything. But southern states are like, third language is generally Hindi. You are imposing Hindi in some way or the other. Then there are some other points, like the video, guys. Only 2 people, right? No, 11 people. I can see 11 people, Shipunda. Refresh it. What are you saying? Chipundis. So key provision of NEP 2020, 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 design. Keep it in mind, guys. 5 years of foundational education, Anganwadi, etc. Then age, again, you can see all these things. 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. Earlier it was 10 plus 2. 10 plus 2, now it is 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. One very good thing is mother tongue. Focus on mother tongue. I don't know how much you can see it, but I think you can see it. Medium of instruction up until grade 5 and preferably till grade 8 will be your home language. So this is good. Vernacular language. Promotion, like when you people will grow up and will become 18 plus and you are preparing for UPSC, you will read about modern history. In modern history, you will read about Wood's Dispatch, and then you will read about Macaulay minutes, and then Wood's Dispatch. So there was a Macaulay minute which emphasized that even at lower level, means knowledge should be imparted in English. But people, like, let's say there is a class one student in Tamil Nadu, he does not know English at that particular point of time. How will he learn in English? So that was a basic problem with Macaulay minute. And then came Wood's Dispatch in 1850s, which started promoting vernacular languages. So again, here also in NEP 2020, medium of instruction up until grade 5, your vernacular language, mother language, which is actually good. Preferably till grade 8, they want the medium of instruction to be home language or mother tongue or local language. So these are some basic provision of NEP 2020, guys, which are very important, and UPSC has asked questions on it. Then there is one more provision of dropout. Dropout means earlier what used to happen, let's say you have a 4-year BTech degree you're taking. So if you are dropping out in 2 years, like Sushant Singh Rajput sir did, so then you will not get anything for it. You are just a dropout. Now they are allowing you to complete your education. If you have dropped out after 2 years, you see this 4-year bachelor, 4-year multidisciplinary bachelor programs. Hope you can see this. Let me see what you can see. So midterm dropouts to be given credit with option to complete degree after a break. So Sushant Singh Rajput sir, if he would have been alive right now, he studied in DTU, Delhi Technical University, DC it was earlier called, he would have got a diploma after completing 2 years, like when he dropped out 2 years after, let's say, and then he could have come back and completed his degree. That particular provision is there in NEP 2020, which I like a lot. I personally feel, cool, Shipurna. So what I am discussing here, there is also Kasturi Ngamati's conservation of Western Ghats. Very good, Vikas, yeah, very good. So remember these particular points, guys. There are certain targets which they have made for secondary education and tertiary education. So university, you can read all these things. And what is that target? What is secondary education? What is tertiary education? First of all, tell me one thing, that education lies under which list? Union list, state list, or concurrent list? National Mission on Foundation Literacy and Numeracy by MHRD. So they want to achieve everybody, should be literate and numeracy. Like, see, understand one thing. There is an organization which is known as NGO Pratham, which publishes a report, ASER report, Annual Status of Education report, or something like that. Not ASER, something, Annual Status of Education, I guess. So NGO Pratham, they publishes a report where they see, let's say you are in class 5, are you able to solve maths problem of class 3 or not? So this is about foundational literacy and numeracy. If you're in class 5, are you able to read a textbook of class 3 or not? Yeah, Annual Status of Education report, ASER report, I was correct. Never doubt yourself. So ASER report, already UPSC has asked this question, NGO Pratham. So this foundational literacy and numeracy in all primary school for all learners by grade 3. If you are in grade 3, you will be able to read text related to grade 3, etc., etc. 100% gross enrollment ratio. Till class 12th, like by 2030, every student will have at least completed, their class 12th, secondary level. Tertiary level, everybody must have graduated. Not everybody, 50%. We'll talk about that particular target also. Again, these are some key points. So Harshini, Annie, Shipurna, Jiva, and all of you have given the answer. You people are so good. Education is in concurrent list. Then what else? This thing. So we have seen in secondary education 100% target by 2030. 100% target by 2030. In tertiary education, in higher education, graduations, we want 50% gross enrollment ratio by 2035. So do remember, secondary education 100% by 2030, and in graduation level, higher education level, 50% by 2035. Currently, it is hovering around 1 out of 4 people among us, they are doing graduation. We want to increase it to 1 out of 2. So all these things are very important, guys. Keep it in mind. You have to remember these facts. They are very important. How important? Very, very, very important. Again, leave these things. Now let's come back to the article at hand, because you understood basic premise related to national education policy. Now let's focus on what is this issue. So Kerala government, they have signed for PM Shri because they want money for modernization of their school. Now Kerala government is a coalition government. So one particular party of this coalition is not liking this. Kerala is expected to receive 1,000 446 crore. So again, you can see all these things. Communist Party of India, which is a key ally of the Kerala government, LDF, they are like, no, this is not done. We don't like this. We have to implement NEP 2020, certain provisions. We don't like this. And they did not consult us. So this is their own internal dynamics. We are not going into that. Just we have to understand PM Shri modernization of school. Central government will be providing some fund. It's not like all money will come from center, but that some money is actually a good amount of money. Kerala wants that money. That's why they have accepted it. But a key alliance, they are not means liking it because of the adherence to NEP 2020. They don't like all the provisions. And anyway, as you people stated, education is a subject in under concurrent list, so states should have some amount of autonomy, and they feel like if they implement NEP 2020, some amount of autonomy will be taken away, thereby undermining federalism. Language issue is the biggest issue here. They don't want to implement Hindi, again. I will not go there. Let's focus on some questions, guys. Which of the following are considered structural and effective solutions to North India's air pollution problem? See, this is the biggest article of the day, that whole, cloud seeding thing. There are so, like, that is so important from environment perspective, governance perspective, pre-perspective, mains perspective. And that's why you're seeing so many questions perspective. So Chapandi is fast. Iltush has given the answer. Harshini has given the answer. Vikas, Shripurna, any, all of you have given the answer. So the answer is cleaner transport and vehicles, renewable energy. Cloud seeding is not the answer, right? So third is wrong. If third is wrong, eliminate third. You are left with B and D. Fourth option, urban planning that reduces emission sources. So the answer is D, 1, 2, and 4. As stated by Iltush, Harshini, Vikas, Shripurna, Any, Kirija, Jivayan. Very good. MCQ8, Sustainable Development Goals were adopted in when? When we were talking about the achievements of UN, we talked about SDGs. So when was it adopted, guys? Chipmundies. 2000, 2010, 2015, 2020. Vikas has given the answer. 8, Vikas. Okay, 8 is C, 2015. It was adopted in 2015. It has to be achieved by 2030. 17 goals, 169 target. Harshini has already remembered all 17 goals. Every day in the morning at 5 a.m., she sends me a voice message where she, recites all 17 goals. And now she's in the process of remembering all 169 targets also. How many of you have remembered 17 goals, guys? Anybody who remembers 17 goals? Very good. So Vikash, Annie, Iltu, Jivan, Purna, Kirija, all of you are saying something, answering something. Let's focus on NEP 2020. And this is your homework. Solve that mains question also, which has been asked on NEP 2020. You know a lot of stuff now related to NEP. Wow, Kirija is such a good girl. Who is a good girl? Kirija is a good girl. Save Green Planet PT में sit. Very good, Jivayan. So yes, sir, with reference to NEP 2020, it replaces any 1986 policy on education, proposes a 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 structure of, oh my god, just give me a second here. What happened here? Yeah. Structure of schooling, mother tongue is recommended as the medium of instruction till at least grade 5, preferably till grade 8. So all the statements are correct, guys. The answer is D. Ninth answer. Ninth question, nobody answered it. Oh my god. So it replaces national policy in education. First is correct. It proposes 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 structure of schooling, replacing 10 plus 2. This is correct. So now you're left with A and D. Mother tongue is recommended as the medium of instruction till at least grade 8, grade 5, preferably till grade 8. So this is also correct. So the answer is D. 1, 2, and 3. Nobody answered D. Why, Chapandis? I want to ask why you people are answering B. What is the problem with A? First one, it did replace 1986 policy on education, guys. People, are you understanding why D is the answer? Why all statements are correct? None of you answered it. Good morning, Vidya. Vikas was missing you. Oh my god, what am I doing? So all the statements are correct, guys. I'm seeing for the first time ever when nobody answered it correctly. Revise NEP 2020. Very good. Now, next article, page 17. UPI leads in payment volume, RTGS value, debit card deals dip. So, what this article is all about, we already read a lot of stuff. Here, you need to understand certain key terms. UPI, NEFT, RTGS, all these terms, real time gross settlement, etc. So, this RTGS is for high value money. It is said that maybe minimum amount of transaction which needs to happen is 2 lakh. Oh my god, I've never seen that huge amount of money ever in my life. So 2 lakh rupees. Oh my god. So minimum amount. So this is for high value transaction, RTGS, and it happens in real time, no delay. NFT or NEFT, it happens in, half an hour scenarios, like you deposited your money right now, or you want to send your money right now, the money will go to the receiver by 30 minutes. Like it will take around 30 minutes, NEFT, for small transactions, small money. So now, and then you have debit card. So basically UPI, NEFT, RTGS, all of them have increased. Debit card deals have decreased. That shows people are using less and less debit card. That is actually true. I have HDFC, debit card and all these things. I rarely use it, and this is true for all of you also. Yes. Cool. So the thing which is important here, we don't need to remember the numbers, guys. We just have to understand digital payment shares have increased. 96% 2019 to more than 99% in 2024, and everything in volume and value. So now there are two terms here. You will see this UPI volume, UPI value. Do we need to remember the number? No. We just have to keep in mind certain facts and figures. Volume means how many? Let's say I did 5 transactions of 50 rupees each, right? So here my volume is 50 rupees and my value is 250 rupees. 5 into 50. So volume and value. Hope you're understanding. So digital payment shares, everything is increasing. All payment growth driven by digital modes. It's just a reality. We barely have cash in our pockets these days. Even everybody's having it. And that is good. That is good because when you people will grow up, you will read about GS Mains Paper 2, you will read about e-governance, use of ICT tools to deliver government services. These digital payments, they're not exactly e-governance, but what it is like when your e-governance is ICT tool, information and communication technology tool. These digital payments are also one aspect of ICT tools. And what happens when you are doing transactions digitally? It leaves a trail. It leaves a trail. It's easier to catch if you're doing too many transactions. Not very easy when you're doing cash transactions. And that's why people who are shady by nature, not exactly like, many people prefer cash. They're like, no, we don't want this digital. If cash hai kya, that means they will ask whether you have cash or not. Why? Because if you know everything you're doing in this, there was a scenario which also happened where people in some southern states, they were like, we are not accepting digital payments because government taxed them when their transaction went beyond a certain limit. They're like, give us cash. It's not easy to keep a track of it. So in that regard, you have to understand. So this is a good figure. These are actually very awesome figures because we don't want corruption in our country. And I have already told you about corruption and all those stuff. We have talked about ethics and governance report and what it talks about corruption in India. So this digital payment will go a long way in reducing corruption. So this is actually a very happy figure, all these numbers. And then what else, sir? NEFT, which we have discussed, small transactions, transfer from one bank account to another. So, and that happens in half an hour duration. So again, that has also increased. RTGS, big amount, big people, minimum amount, 2 lakh or more. So real-time gross settlement. So again, that has also increased. Debit card has decreased. Maybe there will be a time when there will be no debit card because we are no longer using it. But I personally feel we need it. So all in all, everything has increased. UPI, NEFT, RTGS, but debit card transaction, both volume as well as value, they have declined. Awesome, takeaway, guys. Cool. So digital payment dominates India's payment ecosystem. You can read all these things. We have talked about the basic rationale here. We just need to understood. We just need to understand certain facts and figures. Let's solve some questions. Which of the following statement about PM Shri and NEP is correct? PM Shri schools are meant to implement national education policy in government schools. PM Shri schools are independent of NEP 2020. Only private schools are eligible for PM Shri. PM Shri funds are entirely sourced from state. Now, there's a homework for you guys. What we have just discussed about PM Shri, that PM Shri will do modernization. So, is this modernization confined to government school, or will private school will also be covered under it? Find out. This is your homework. Tell me. You can tell me today also before the end of the class, or you can tell me tomorrow also in the class. Tomorrow is Saturday, right? We will be meeting tomorrow. Yes. So PMC school, what is the answer, guys? Then why we will need debit card, sir? We need debit card because you need to take out cash sometime. UPI will not enable you to take out cash, right? So if you need, by default, you need some cash somewhere. You are in a place where there is no internet connection. How will you do these transactions, guys? So you need cash for emergency purpose, and that's why you need debit card. So Harshini, Shipurna, Iltush, Vikas, Annie, Jivayan, Vidya, Kirija, all of you have given the answer. A. PMC schools are meant to implement national education policy in government school. Which of the following payment system is primarily used for large value real-time settlement? UPI, NEFT, RTGS, debit cards. We have discussed. Primarily, you can say that UPI also I'm so rich, I'm sending 4 lakh rupees as donation to you. No, that is not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about what we have just discussed, the basic difference between NEFT and RTGS. So Vikas, Iltush, Harshini, Vidya, Kirija, what we have discussed, NEFT is for small transactions. And because it is small, banks will not give you value. They're like, okay, deposit it right now. It will go to your receiver wherever you want to send after half an hour. RTGS, big money, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 4 lakh. So you're like, oh my God, money, money. Bank will be like, please, please sit. Do you want coffee, tea? We are just doing it in real time. So again, money speaks, guys. People are like, money is not everything. First earn money and then say that. So RTGS, and the difference between RTGS and NEFT tells us that money speaks, money matters. So RTGS is the answer, guys. We are saying primarily used for UPI. You can also send for rupees 5. You can also donate rupees 1 to me. Please don't donate rupees 1 to me. No, still, I'm just joking. UPI can be low value, guys. RTGS has to be more than 2 lakhs. So the answer is RTGS. People who have answered A, hope you are understanding why answer is not A. Iltush, Harshini, Vidya, Kirja, Shipurna, Jiva, and Vikas, any all of you have answered it. Hope you are understanding why the answer is not A and why the answer is C. Chippandies. Next article. Why I kept this article at the end? Every day, almost every day, we talk about climate change. I'm bored, man. So I was about to skip this article and I was about to take Modi sir not going to ASEAN. I was so sad about that. So sad that because of you people, Modi sir is not going to ASEAN. Modi sir is going there here. What? Why you people are so depressed if Modi sir is going here, there, everywhere? Anything and everything. I was sad. I was about to take this topic or some other topic, but then when I read this article, I was like, we cannot skip this topic, guys. We cannot skip. This topic is very important from every perspective. And plus, Ulka has written this article, who is one of the like sweetest kid I have ever met in my life. So, what this article is talking about? This article is talking about that India is awesome. We are non-divisive when it comes to climate related issues. We in India, there's not a pro climate change lobby or anti climate change lobby like in US, Donald Trump, this and that. So we know, we are unanimously agreeing, be it BJP, Congress, anything. We know that yes, this is a threat, so we are working towards it, and maybe India should take a global leadership, and that's what this article is talking about. Very good article. PMC does not very Harshini is such a good girl. So let's focus. So global context before COP30, Conference of Party 30 of UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, is going to happen in Brazil, Belém, Brazil. United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Whenever we talk about this, we talk about Rio Summit of like 1992, Agenda 21 it is also called, because it was dealing with or talking about agendas of 21st century. Via Rio Summit, 3 organizations appeared, which we have discussed almost 10 million or 20 million times up until now. So 3 organizations, UNFCCC, this is 1992. Solve all PYQs on Rio Summit. UNFCCC, UNCBD, and UNCCD, right? So, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change 30th Conference of Party will happen in Belém. Now, these two guys who are my best friends, they are talking about, how US has withdrawn from Paris Agreement, EU is hesitant, Brazil is more focused on implementation than new commitments. What is the answer? Like topic here, guys. There are terms: adaptation, mitigation, which you have to understand. These are the terms which are very important. You will keep on hearing them in environment, adaptation and mitigation, and maybe you are hearing it here also. Where is the yeah? We'll talk about the other points. Adaptation and mitigation. What is the basic difference? So you are making a drought resistance variety of crops, drought resistant crops. So that is adaptation. You are adapting your crops according to the changing climate. Mitigation is this whole thing: afforestation, solar energy, etc. So what we are doing in mitigation, we are trying to reduce the GHG emission. We are trying to increase the carbon sink. We are trying to, I hope you're understanding. So afforestations, carbon sequestration project, all these things are under the mitigation part. Adaptation is you are adapting. So do remember the basic difference between adaptation and mitigation. Most of the people, they don't understand this. Here, this article is saying that Brazil is like, let's focus on implementing existing agreements which is there, rather than focus on creating new commitments like Paris climate deal or Kyoto like deal. So COP 30, many people feel it will be a washout. US is not there, EU is hesitant, Brazil is like, let's focus on implementation of existing things. So nothing new will come out. But then Hisham Mundal, who is this cutie, is chief advisor India. Oh, he's not a cutie, he's a grown-up guy. So he's talking about that. Don't worry, these things are very common, and glass is half full. Even in the previous COPs, there has been confusion, but something good has come out of it. Pre-COP uncertainty is normal, which is happening right now also. Geopolitical turbulence may prevail. Maybe we will not witness something like Paris Agreement, which happens once in 10, 20 years. This is actually a landmark agreement. But something good will emerge out of this particular COP 30. That's what this Isham sir is saying. Access of good, there's an access of good countries, Europe, like, and continent, India, Brazil, India, etc. Like, they're coming together, they're focusing on climate technology. India is not very glamorous. You can read, I'm not reading this. They are saying that India can be, you know, a leader here because we are not divisive. All in all, whole of this India, oh my God, what the F am I saying here? I've told you what is the basic meaning of non-divisive on climate issues mean when we're talking from India's perspective. Think from US perspective, anti or pro climate change lobby, anti climate change lobby, and all those stuff. So we don't have that. So we are very consistent when it comes to our policies, consistent across different spectrums. That's what this article is saying. Then Ulka ma'am, who is my best friend, she is saying that COP 30 likely to emphasize climate finance. See, understand why these COPs are needed, why conference of parties are needed. If they are not there, then whole of these, solar energy, wind energy, how the implementation will be done, that will come upon domestic, public and private funding. But these COPs, they give you that, okay, different countries will come together, they will pool resources, they provide collective mechanism, and that's why we need these COPs. Otherwise we'll be left all alone. So that's why COPs are needed. And then ma'am is saying that we should focus on adaptation, not just mitigation. Focus on drought resistant crop, water resilience, not just solar energy, electric vehicles, this and that. So adaptation is also very important. Drought resistance crops, etc. They're equally important like solar energy or electric vehicles. Cool. Then you can read all these things. Hope you understood why we need COP. We need COP because if there are no COPs, there will be no such, global cohesion or countries coming together in collective mechanism. So there are different green climate fund, this and that they have come together with. How much is implemented, that is a different matter altogether, but at least countries are talking about it, that we will give money, this and that. So yeah, that is why COP is needed. And that's why this COP is not a washout, which will be happening in Belém, Brazil. And ensuring cooperation. You can read this. Now, this is a very interesting rationale given by HM. HM, like these two guys we are talking about in mnemonic. So, what is the rationale here? They're saying that the countries like Ambani and Adani, Reliance, etc., they are focusing on green energy, etc. It's not about altruism, guys. It's not about selfless care. I think about environment, Adani sir, Ambani sir. I know you people love them, and you should. I don't know, but it's not about altruism. What is altruism? Selfless work. I'm doing nothing is selfless. We have talked about WIFM. I have told you in world, this FM is anywhere and everywhere. Even if you don't have radio transmission, even then people have this FM which is known as WIIFM. What is WIIFM? What's in it for me? Everybody thinks about this. Companies are no exception. So when they're investing in green energy, because why they're investing? It's not about environmental reason. No, it's about future. They know This is the future. Green energy is the future. So if they're investing in green energy, they will have more profits in future. So it's all about economic, and if there are more profits, more and more shareholders will come, more and more investment will happen. So it is all about economic and shareholder value. We are not saying Adani sir and Ambani sir, they're not altruistic and all. They're very altruistic. This article is saying that it's not always about altruism. It's about money, money. In our time, there was an actor, Tushar Ritesh Deshmukh. Money hai to honey hai. That means if there is money, there is honey. So UK, Western countries often underestimate India's scale and progress. We have done so much. Kusum. We keep on talking about Kusum. Who is Kusum? Kusum is my friend. Kusum is also Kishan Urja Suraksha Evam Utthan Mahabhiyan, which talked about installation of solar pumps in agricultural lands, right? So we have done so much here. We have decoupled energy use from emissions. We have focused on renewable energy, solar energy. We have talked about this. We keep on talking about it every other day. So India is awesome, and we will become a leader. India is a leader now. So India's expected commitment, blah, blah, blah. You can read all these things. India is doing very good. That's what they are talking about. We have discussed this. But Ulka ma'am, who is my best friend, she is saying that India has to still focus on industries. Our industries, cement, steel, they still emit a lot, and we have to focus on how we will decarbonize them. That is a work in progress. We have to set a new nationally determined contributions target for these industries, because they are still emitting a lot. But then the other counter argument is we will keep on emitting because, you know we're still developing. Then there are other terms: blended finance, public and private partnership, when it comes to climate related project, that is blended finance. Dual benefit projects, that means mitigation plus adaptation. So again, there are so many keywords here which are important from exam perspective. Go through this article. I have told you the basic gist here. I'm totally bored by these environment related articles, guys. Every day we are talking about it. It's not even every other day. Almost every day we are talking about this. So maybe some of you already remember all these things, 50%. But again, why we talk about it? Because every day something new comes. And if something is coming almost every day, so much so that we cannot discard it, that means this is one of the most, if not the most important topic of your UPSC. GST environment, you cannot ignore renewable energy and climate change and all. Let's focus. Which of the following is an example of adaptation to climate change? Again, think about this question. We will discuss it tomorrow. Homework. MCQ 13. Cloud seeding raises ethical questions. Why? Think about this question. Homework. We'll discuss it tomorrow. Like, share, and subscribe. Spread the word. You can join this Telegram channel. I will share this PDF by 9:30 a.m. And you can also join these programs based on which area you're lagging behind. If you need someone to mentor you, this program is for you. If you need NCRT, if your history is here, there, everywhere. If you need mains material, if you need some doubt sessions, if you need annotated PDF, and if you need me to evaluate your mains answer, anything, everything. Also, if you need different courses combined together, I'm just telling you, although there is no combined thing as such right now, but let's say you also need mentorship program, you also need NCRT series, you need mains evaluation program, and you see, the if you combine them, the price is very huge, but you need all three of them at a discounted price. You can send me a message, we can talk about it. I'm getting these kind of demands a lot. That, sir, we need these three courses. We don't need other courses, but please reduce the price. When we are adding it, it's very big. So we'll talk about that. So again, you can send me a message if you need particular courses, but you want some amount of. Again, we will have a discussion. You can give me a message. This is the number, and we can talk about it. Cool, 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 sir. Your competition is yourself. You can also donate. Do donate, guys. Donation helps. Donation is without accountability also. Okay. What do I mean by that? When I'm taking any course, I have to provide you that course and then follow up. In donation, it's much easier. Okay, that's it from me, guys. So yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you Shipurna. Thank you Jiva. And thank you Iltush. Thank you Vikas. Thank you Ashwini. Thank you Kirija. Thank you everyone else. I will see you people tomorrow at 8 a.m.